faculty members as well as my fellow classmates. I'm Joanne and my team consists of Anne, Lizzie and Jodie. And we are tasked today to prepare a campaign for Theatre EKAMATRA. So for those of you who have no idea who Theatre EKAMATRA is, let me tell you. They have a very rich history. They were founded in 1988 to develop the experimental Malay theatre scene. But they have shifted their teams to actually focus more on general Singaporean social political issues. They have won numerous awards and also received strong positive coverage by our key media such as Straits Times as well as Business Times. So like any other organisation, they will occasionally face problems. So this is one of the issues that they're facing. So let me explain further. Like every theatre organisation, they want to have many productions and many plays, but they are of course sometimes restricted to resources. So they recently moved to Aliwat Centre, and Theatre EKAMATRA now has a space of their own called Greymatter. This space, however, increased their rental expense and is currently underutilised, but they aim to have a steady stream of events and Greymatter to ease their high rental expense. So that's where our campaign will come in. Our campaign has practical strategies and tactics which are seamless to implement and it's also easy on the pockets. After analysing the theatre industry as well as considering Theatre EKAMATRA's central resources, we have proposed a 12-month campaign with one simple goal to raise the profile of Theatre EKAMATRA and Greymatter. So we feature a combination of offline and online strategies and tactics which are aligned with their mission to create an engaging theatre that inspires. So before we go to the exciting part of the campaign, I'll go through the building blocks, which I'll go through the SWOT analysis, a primary research, and then my teammates, Anne and Jodie, will go through the campaign itself. So first, SWOT analysis. We have actually analysed Theatre EKAMATRA's strengths and weaknesses and also identified opportunities and threats in the theatre industry. Of course, these are just some of the many points that we've covered up, and we have a full list in our plan book which we'll give to you shortly. We'll cover a few of this. So for example, with Theatre EKAMATRA's strong leadership and established legacy, they're able to offer youth development programs such as Marika and Playwright programs, and these are really, really useful because we've found out there's an increasing interest and opportunities for youth to participate in and develop their theatrical interest, like that we've mentioned. And also, with the new space at Greymatter, they're able to use this space to host more showcases and events for the theatre goers, as well as to even rent it out to collect additional income. Besides analysing their company itself, we've also done research, an interview and a survey, which our target audience was theatre goers aged between 18 to 35 years old. So I'll go through review some of the main themes that were occurring during the interview. So this is the main apparent theme that keeps coming up in our interview. So 5 of 5 interviewees have this fail-safe attitude towards theatres. So what does this mean is that many of the theatre goers choose to go to productions and attend these productions that they feel that it's safe and that they will be assured of the quality and the time that they spend and the money they spend on this show. And so this is one area that we can tackle in the campaign later. The other theme will be the youth program, and many of our interviewees mentioned that having a youth program reflects the artistic quality of the theatre company itself, and it also shows that the theatre is really good at what they are doing. And in addition, this also adds to the commitment and dedication that the theatre company wants to give to nurture the local theatre scene. Moving on to our survey that we've conducted, this is based on some research that we've done. We figured that attitudes towards local theatre, motivations behind going to the play, will actually affect the behaviour of why people attend plays or not. So this also forms the framework of our survey. So yeah, now's the more exciting part. You want to know which are the motivators that people will choose. People want to go to a theatre or a production. So these are the top 3 that we found. Emotion stimulation basically refers to the emotional satisfaction after attending a play. So you feel happy, you feel delighted after going to a certain production. For education, our survey revealed that many of our respondents actually go to the survey to actually learn more about different cultures and the arts. And they also go there to be exposed to different Singaporean issues that they have. Lastly, for sensory stimulation, is basically people appreciating the artistic expression of the theatre, and also the art and the beauty grace of these theatre productions in general. So we've also asked our surveys respondents to actually check off the list of which theatre they recognise and they know. So this is where Theatre EKAMATRA stands. So they did relatively okay, but of course more can be done to help increase their level of awareness, which also lays our foundation for the campaign to raise the profile of Theatre EKAMATRA and Greymatter. So speaking of Greymatter, we've also asked our respondents on whether they have heard of Greymatter, since it's a really new initiative and space owned by Theatre EKAMATRA, of which 90% of them are not really familiar. So this is the area that we'll be tackling in our campaign. But also, after showing them some pictures as well as telling them where Greymatter is actually located, it is them are actually interested and really would like to go to an event at Greymatter itself. So this shows a lot of potential that the space has. So finally, for the communication channels, we've actually interviewed surveyed our respondents on the most often used as well as their strong preference for communication channels to receive theatre updates and news, of which Facebook, YouTube, and websites come up tops. So these will be the 3 main channels we'll use throughout the entire campaign. With that, I'll pass the presentation on to An for while you with the campaign.
Thank you for the compliment. So the main goal of campaign is to increase the profile of Theatre EKAMATRA and Greymatter. And this goal will be elaborated in 3 different objectives: follow the knowledge, attitude, and behavior framework. That basically means that you get people to know about Theatre EKAMATRA as well as Greymatter, you make sure that like experience, and so that it will increase the level of attendance. So our objective will be to increase 80% of the awareness, 40% of the favorable attitudes, and 5% of the level of attendance. So before we move on to the campaign proper, I shall talk a little bit about the overarching theme of our campaign. So our leading message will be live at stage, and we are all playing a part. And find your story live with Theatre EKAMATRA. And this leading message condensed into the very short and sweet slogan, live at the stage. And this is a very basic appeal of theatre that many scholars have been talking about. Theatre is actually live in miniature, yet magnifying and implementing live in this particular different slice of life. And our survey and our primary research has also shown that theatre goers, they attend performances not because they see it as a form of entertainment or they want to escape from their mundane life, but because they want to see this art form, how they articulate social issue and how they reflect life in a very aesthetic expression. And this is so very personable and relatable because essentially we are all performing a different role, a different story in our everyday life, whether backstage or front stage. And the more importantly, this lead message also aligns with Theatre EKAMATRA this direction, which is to focus on the social and political issues. And so we have 4 strategies, and I will talk about the first and the second strategy, and Julie will talk more about the third and the fourth. So move on to the first strategy, which is to promote Greymatter as a space. And we noticed that there's not a lot of promotional activities going on for Greymatter, so we are suggesting a few recommendations. So the first one is to list Greymatter on Aliwal Arts Centre website, because Aliwal Arts Centre is also a venue for hire, and they do have a website which have all this, so it should be a quite easy and effective way to reach to a broader audience. And the second one is to reach out to the smaller scale theatres, and we do this through direct mailers of corporate brochures. So we, because from our issue tracking as well as some of our research, we realize that quite a number of small theatres, they are newly formed and they don't really have a space for rehearsal performances. So we suppose that Theatre EKAMATRA can just mail a corporate brochure to introduce a Greymatter and offer subsidized rates for rentals, and this will help to increase awareness as well as goodwill. And of course, having a corporate brochure, it would be quite a good tool for them to distribute in any events or performances. And the third one, which is to expand on the Ethics series, as most of you are well aware of. Ethics series is an experimental platform that features the works of Theatre EKAMATRA, as well as in collaboration with other independent artists. And we realize that right now, Theatre EKAMATRA are producing as well as directing and acting and put a lot of effort into it. So we recommend that instead of producing all 3 different plays for elective series, we can extend the invitation to other arts and theatre, not just like theatre, but also can be visual art, exhibition, all that, so to reduce the resources expended for this series as well, and to have more events. So shifting from producer role to more curatorial role. And the cornerstone of our is to have a launch event for Greymatters. I understand that Theatre EKAMATRA do have open house back in May last year, but however there's no mention of the Greymatter, as well as more to promote about the main season show, which is 9405. And so we are recommending to have a launch event which will attract media and to ensure that this even increase the scope of interest to a more broader public and art practitioners. We are thinking of organizing it together with the start of Youth Theatre Appreciation Series, which we will elaborate in a couple of minutes. And this will be a panel discussion about the opportunity and challenges for youth theatre. We will invite members of the National Arts Council as well as the art practitioner and the media to talk about youth participation in theatre. And this will help to generate media interest and publicity, as well as position Greymatter as an aspiring space for vibrant and very trendy experimental works. And this Youth Theatre Exhibition series will be the focus of our second strategy, which is to build a strong relationship with the youth community. I do understand that Theatre EKAMATRA has a very strong youth program with America and all, but we want to even attract more attention by bringing all these programs into a span of 2 months. So it will be a very intense, very focused. We have more workshops and seminars conducted by local artists or even our very talented associate directors. And we have more showcases with hand-on theatrical productions, and this will help to generate more media publicity so that more people would know about it with very intense period. And we plan to reach out to the interested youth group by having these communication booklets to be distributed to theatre classes, schools like NAFA or LaSalle, or like Interest Club in NUS, SMU, as well as popular theatre venues like the Substation. So with that, I shall pass the time now on to Jodie to talk more about strategy 3 and 4.
Thank you, Anne. So firstly, this strategy is to increase awareness of Theatre EKAMATRA's main season production. We have 3 tactics, and the first one would be having a short preview of the upcoming production. This is actually a live performance in a flash mob style, held at free and open public spaces such as trains or even plazas of malls. And this will be filmed and uploaded on the YouTube, and the flyer presented here will actually be distributed to the viewers at the live performance. So they'll be informed to go onto the YouTube channel to know about the ending to the skit, as well as vote for their alternative and preferred ending here, which will set the content for the upcoming YouTube video. This will in no manner affect the original plot of the actual production itself. And this interactive design for audience engagement actually serves to enhance the virality of this content, as well as to reach out beyond the immediate social networks, so as through the word of mouth and social influence on social media. The second tactic will be a series of showcase held at Greymatter to reflect the theme of upcoming productions in varying art forms, so this goes beyond conventional presentation of theatrical works. Taking the play of KKPL, for example, which centers upon Malay culture and social norms and relationships. Some showcases we propose are like performance pertaining to music and dance of the Malay culture, or exhibits of the stage props such as costume worn by the cast, or also photography and sculptures that highlight the themes such as normalcy and social deviance. This is actually, aside from directly increasing the number of events at Greymatter, it also allows audience to experience theatre in a different, more vibrant and novel way. So this also increased the appeal of events at Greymatter and Greymatter as a space itself. Our third tactic, which is social media engagement. The first platform is the Facebook, where we will have 4 main types of content. Pillar content offers unique insights based on a balance of knowledge and opinions, such as the first one, how to live out theatre in daily life. And also flagship content mirrors this style, but establish authority through introduction of the concepts in a more straightforward manner, such as what is the importance of local productions in Singapore. And filler content are bite-sized information such as facts of the day. As you can see from the first 2 posts, I don't think it's too very clear. And also the bottom 3 are actually promotional content, which informs fans and update them about the upcoming productions based on the themes such as struggle for tahan, faith, and then also social norms for the last one. The different characteristic of this content in terms of originality and substance actually allows Theatre EKAMATRA to build a presence on the digital sphere, as well as help shape and define how audience think about the company and the productions. We'll also be having a contest on Instagram. So participants will upload a 15-second video based on their own interpretation of the campaign's overarching theme or the production's theme. And using these hashtags, this is to generate awareness and buzz. And the prizes and incentives are, for example, complimentary ticket to the productions, or backstage passes to meet the cast and crew. And also the winning skit selected based on number of likes will also have a chance to be a basis as a short skit staged at Greymatter itself. And also for our YouTube channel, we'll be uploading extra content such as behind the scenes, which allow audiences to understand the production better, and so informal interviews and dialogue so as to allow them to get to know the team better as well. Our strategy 4 is to increase awareness of Theatre EKAMATRA as a company, and we have 2 tactics. And first one is the promotion and collaboration with the neighboring cafes and boutiques at the area, Haji Lane and Arab Street. So firstly is for publicity placement. We'll be putting up promotional materials such as this, which is a postcard that details the events held at Greymatter. So this increase the message exposure beyond standard distribution to like institutions or interest group. And this is to also hopefully direct some of the traffic over to Oliver Art Center and Greymatter. The second one is actually promotions such as discount offers or gift redemptions when people present, let's say, a ticket to the production. And this is actually a win-win situation because it benefits both sides in terms of generating sales and revenue. So lastly, we also have website redesign because our current primary research shows that there is the design is quite plain and there's insufficient details about the company. So we plan to focus on aesthetic appeal and comprehensiveness of the information. This is a mock-up of our website, and so we'll be implementing more images and more interactive tools such as direct links that you can download for more information, as well as external sources of reviews from publications. And we'll also be including works that you can also click in to download more information. And Greymatter is an additional aspect that we'll include on the website for increased visibility on the internet and Google search engine results. There's also interactive tools such as the email that you can drop an inquiry about the space. Going back to the presentation, so this is a timeline of the 12-month long campaign. We'll kick off with the official launch of Greymatter, and then the Youth Theatre Appreciation Series to generate awareness and buzz. Assuming that the main season play are held in intervals of 3 months, this will allow for sufficient time for Theatre EKAMATRA to prepare for the play as well as promote for the publicity. So the estimated budget is $1,635. Bulk of it goes into administrative printing and the launch event, as it actually most of the strategies leverage on existing resources that Theatre EKAMATRA already use. So to wrap up the campaign, we'll be conducting evaluation to set benchmark for future campaigns. One, to evaluate level of awareness is audience exposure, such as number of visitors to the website and hits on social media, and media coverage in terms of media clippings in quality and quantity. We'll also be measuring attitude towards the campaign itself. So social media analysis includes number of likes, shares, and downloads, as well as sentiment analysis on the contents made by fans online. So for behavior outcomes, we'll be assessing ticket sales, attendance to the events, and participation for the contest on social media. We'll also be including a post-campaign survey, which includes a net promoter score indicator to understand whether there is consumer loyalty, to see whether they will recommend Theatre EKAMATRA's production to their peers. So, yeah.
We hope that our campaign has resolved some of the issues in Theatre EKAMATRA and address them, and also to leverage on the opportunities that we've identified in the theatre industry. So with that, we've come to the end, and thank you for taking time off to attend our presentation.
Any comments or questions for the team?
I think for me it's just a flash mob thing. Have you guys done any research about what do you call them? Permits or flash mob? Like, do you still need to get a license from MBA?
Yeah, we actually looked into it, and we found out that if it's a free and open public space, there is actually very there's sort of a grey area which you do really need to request for it. But I think looking at let's say SMRT, their social media efforts is actually very encouraging and interactive with audiences. So I feel that our group feels that actually if you were to hold it on let's say trains, they will actually be quite supportive of it.
And I think another venues that we're looking at are the surrounding area of Arab Street. So some of these partnering merchants that we can ask for, or like some of the restaurant and cafe that all these very trendy arts people usually frequent. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much. It's a lot of hard work, and because the theatre industry is also not something that is very documented. And so the research you're doing is actually really important for the growth of the industry. So know that you've contributed somewhat to what we've done. And EKAMATRA has also recently corporatized, meaning that we become a company. So this kind of work is very important to us, our engagement to us. How detailed should we go into questions and answers, or should we keep it offline? Or should I just throw you a wild card and see how you do? I can because I'm an US tutor, right? So okay. Well, I do want to ask a clarification question. How do you define small-scale theatre, and how big is the market? Because one of your main strategies is to focus on, if I'm not wrong, it is slide.
Actually, I think if you're asking for the definition of small-scale theatres, it's actually obtained from our primary research, like interviews with our respondents. They are all theatre goers and in the know of the theatre scene, so they are actually students from students studying theatres or practicing theatre. And according to them, small-scale theatre the scale of the theatre comprises of the number of productions that the company produce, and also the
size of the production itself. Like most of them, they have it in less than 100 people, so maybe a small group of 50. And then for mid-scale range is on a bigger scope, so they have it for more than 100 people. And of course, we have the large scale that's like in Esplanade, which is for a whole week or something like that. So we used to compare the scope of the theatre, and then the size of number of productions that they do, and any of the programs that they have. And generally, after doing some research, there are some theatre that don't really update a lot, so we kind of put them into a small scale because it means that they're not really having a lot of programs. And then we also did some research in terms of content analysis, like which are the ones that appear a lot in the media itself. So it also shows that they are having a lot of productions, like recently the Pandemonium had about by Adrian Pang had a play about some fat pig, yeah. So it came out a lot, so we kind of cluster them as a bigger theatre group.
So how big is the market?
It's really huge and it's really segmented. So
No, I'm meaning because if that's where we want to target as one of our main people to get revenue for the rental. I mean, of course, the returns are going to be a lot higher because the cost of marketing to them are going to be less than $1,000. So, what is the market we should shoot for, and why just the small scale theatre?
Because based on some of the research that we've done, a lot of the small scale to maybe some medium scale, they don't actually have their own space. So there are a lot of companies that they started out based on because they're all enthusiasts in theatre. So it's actually their hobby that they want to come up with some theatre productions and some plays. So they don't really have their own space that they call home, and they actually rehearse a lot in their own office, in their homes. So this is an area where Theatre EKAMATRA can potentially loan out their space to these groups of people. Yeah, it's actually listed in the plan, in a more detailed plan book. So yeah, it'll come to you probably next week or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we go back to slide 13? I'm just curious, where should we be in relation to this? You identified these as so-called the competitors or the winners, right? Where should we be in relation to that?
Of course, we hope that we could bring them towards this side. So, but of course, you can tell that this side tends to be really large scales because they have many productions and they have many support in terms of funding and financial resources. So, of course, we are aiming to move towards this group because these are really very lesser known. So, we're trying to move Theatre EKAMATRA to the mid-range, in terms of awareness itself.
And can I just ask at the survey, what was the demographic of the survey?
The survey is done by theatre goers itself. So we actually went to some of the Fat Pig after the play itself or during intermission. We actually interviewed some of them whether they would like to help out with this survey. And so this is some of the group that we've gotten. The others was through the database that I've sent to Shaza herself, as well as some of our friends who are studying theatre or in LaSalle or NAPFA.
And what's the age range? Sorry.
18 to 35.
And we did try to send email to some of the theatre courses. So LaSalle as well as NAPFA, they did reply us and they did forward the email. So yeah,
it's quite robust. Thank you.
Yeah, and also theatre groups like NUS Stage. Yeah, we actually asked them if they could interview some of their students who are preparing for a play and ask them for some
go back to the website?
Yeah, sure. So that
You
you
hung out
You
at
love
the
it?
Love it.
We love it. We want to see it again.
I'm so excited.
So can you talk us a bit more about this? Why does this appeal to the current theatre goer? Does this make us stand out from the current
Okay.
theatre scene? And
Okay, so based on our interview, right, a lot of them mentioned that, and I also compared with different sites. One thing about theatre is that on your page about the production, you guys don't really mention about the reviews, which you guys actually have a lot to show. That's why we actually included this part, that it keeps moving and to show the different reviews. And like I've mentioned about the fail-safe attitude, people want to go to a production that they are aware and they are assured that it will be a good one. So this, in a way, also reinforces the fact that, hey, if we are a good performance, come watch our show.
And we studied some of the other websites, right, and we see that they don't really show any kind of photos of it visually to make the play attractive, because they usually bank on the reputation and like the actors and the cast. So it's basically just some synopsis or like some who's the cast with director. So we would like to highlight more like details and like more fun slideshow and all that to make sure that people are attracted.
sure. Is this easy to implement?
It's currently in HTML, so it's still need a bit of work.
Take a bit of okay.
No, I really like whatever, all the work that you guys have put into it. Like, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
so much.
Yeah, it's been really enlightening.